41 evacuated people are Belarusians and members of their families from Gaza Strip. Most of the passengers are children. Many of them have never been to Belarus before. After they crossed the border between the Gaza Strip and Egypt, Cairo gave 72 hours for further evacuation to Belarus. We did it faster. How did it happen? And what hell did all these people escape from? Watch it right now. Operation under the personal control of the head of state. Our house was bombed, windows and walls were broken. There is no light, no food, everyone is exhausted, everyone is nervous. They say there is a humanitarian corridor in the south and go there. When they go south, they are shot at, they are killed. There's no need for terror here, every second is worth the lives of the people there. This is the Belarusian State Security Committee speaking. We believed in the Belarusian state, we believed. I've seen with my own eyes how people die, almost 13,000 people. There are 5,000 children there. Premature babies. For example, I'm asleep and don't know if I'm going to wake up in the morning or not. If I wake up, I don't know who of my friends or my relatives have died. I left my brothers, father and mother. I can't imagine how they'll be there. I cry for them. Maybe I won't see them. Maybe they'll die today or tomorrow.
I left my husband there. I don't know how it is now. I'm so tired. I don't have any strength anymore. The war has been going on for the last 2 weeks. As you know, there is no electricity, no food, everyone is exhausted, everyone is wound up.
Our relatives are still there. I have a mother, 3 brothers and a sister there. We all find ourselves in a situation in the Gaza Strip where nobody in the world needs it. It's like the other world, do you understand? When we're told about democracy, about human rights, about laws, where is that world? It's all a lie. Western countries and America are the most diabolical, and all this is happening before the eyes of the whole world. The whole world is watching, and what? No one can stop these people. This will be on the conscience of all mankind for the rest of their lives.
Their emotions do not need explanation. These individuals did not initiate the war. They have no connection to Hamas. However, is it significant for individuals who possess rockets?
Our house was bombed, the windows were broken, the wall fell. There is nothing left around the house on the street either. In general, there is practically no Gaza. Everything was bombed. On October 10, we left our house, and I haven't seen it since.
It all began for them on October 7th. The Israel Defense Forces initiated an operation in Gaza Strip in response to the massive rocket attacks by Hamas, the Palestinian movement.
In the beginning, I went to work and helped my colleagues, of course, with difficulty. When I went to the hospital, I thought I wouldn't go home because a bomb could fall on me.
Employed at a children's hospital, the facility housed vulnerable boys and girls with chronic diseases, specifically blood oncology cases. It was absolutely vital to consistently take medication for them.
The tanks came and started shooting. The children who were on artificial respiration were switched off. Those children died. A 2,000-kilo bomb was dropped in Jabali. We have such an area on the border. 400 people died there. They were ordinary people. A phosphorus bomb was dropped on the hospital, killing 500 people and burning people. People came there to save themselves because their homes had been bombed. They had been driven out of their homes. Where should they go? They came to the territory of the hospital and the school. It was bombed.
Unfortunately, the longer the war, the more these examples are just examples for many who follow the news. Let even the scary ones, what people from the gas sector think, they scream with all their might. At home, they say, until kids can't hear, they scream loudly into the pillow.
They are worse than the devil, worse. It is frightful. You know, my husband is a little emotional because recently our family died, my cousins who were doctors. They throw bombs on the refugee house. They throw 1,000 tons of explosives and destroy everything around that house, 5, 10 or 20 houses. You look at it and it's as if it's been wiped off the face of the earth. They pick up those bodies that are in the explosion. And it is not yet known how many people lie dead under the rubble or wounded. Shame on such a world. Shame. Shame on such a world because neither the UN nor the Arab League nor the Organization of Islamic Cooperation nor UNICEF nor anyone else is doing anything. There is no need for chatter now. Trust me, every second is worth the lives of the people there.
Emma, good evening. This is the Belarusian State Security Committee speaking on behalf of the President of the Republic of Belarus.
Very nice.
We have organized measures for your evacuation and evacuation of your loved ones.
Okay, I'm already packed up. We also have Belarusian girls here who are registered for evacuation. Do you know about them?
Of course, don't worry.
Can the husband go if he had a residence permit but it has expired? We submitted all our documents to the group.
Sure, your husband can go. We evacuate both you and your family.
You've probably seen what they show on TV.
Of course, Svetlana.
It's just terrible. Yes, I'm going to Belarus and that's it. Because what I've seen and what's going on here, this is like the World War II, even worse. Thank you very much for everything. Thank you for your support and for everything you do for us. I have only a big request for you. Pray for us that we will survive this night.
We will pray and God willing, it will all end soon for you. Hold on.
Okay.
Live until tomorrow, and so every day, and so absolutely every one of them. They gave the numbers of all their relatives, understanding that if not me, then let at least someone close come out.
They calmed us down, called us. The guys did a great job.
But there was a fear that this flight might not happen.
I was, because it was very scary. This is the first war when everything is like this.
This is not the initial war for Gaza. Since the year 2006, every couple of years. The Gaza Strip's area is only 363 SQ kilometers. Just imagine, it's almost like Minsk, the capital of Belarus in terms of size. Belarusians in Gaza supported each other as best they could. There are internet outages, but in rare hours or minutes, they wrote they are alive and still waiting for help.
When this miracle happens, or rather the evacuation, there is no strength or patience to wait. Better to die than to live like this and wonder. We're holding on with all our strength. You look at little children and your heart aches. I try not to cry in front of the children. I don't allow the older ones to watch the news, but it's really impossible to stay here anymore.
People at market look for food, walk with empty bags. Everything is empty. The guy 20 faints. Water poured. Crowd gathered. Everywhere, ruins, garbage, dumps. Donkeys skinny. Cats rummage in trash cans. Pick is not for the faint-hearted.
Even then, they were in contact with them in the same chat from Minsk.
The Rafah crossing, located on the border between the Gaza Strip and Egypt, opened for evacuation on the 1st of November. On the same day, the first foreigners crossed the border. Queues of people and cars lined up at the checkpoint. Everyone wanted to flee from the war. But even earlier, the employees of the Belarusian State Security Committee promptly flew to Egypt to rescue and evacuate their own people on behalf of the president.
And they kept on working in Cairo, creating lists, making phone calls, negotiating with both sides. And it was really hard. The committee can't reveal all the mission details today. Hard, secret, and, as time will demonstrate, effective.
We were looking for different options. Today the checkpoint does not work. Tomorrow it works. The day after tomorrow, some violated the conditions. The second party violated it, and you can't explain it to people. People ask every day when we will pick them up, begging with tears.
If I go by the road, they will bomb me. This is dangerous for my life and for the lives of my children.
We're here in Egypt right now. We've come for you.
I really hope so.
In addition, every person has a story similar to this.
They said they were making a corridor, security and all that, and the people went. The first time, they bombed the cars with people. The second time, they bombed the people walking. How's that? And the whole world knows about it. The president is constantly monitoring the situation. Our leadership submits reports to him on a regular basis. Therefore, Evgenia Pavlovna, everyone has the task of taking you away from there as soon as possible.
Thank you, I will be very grateful.
So each and every single day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Houses are bombed here without warning. You can't run away there, straight to the grave.
We won't go anywhere without you.
We have a disabled child. He is 15 years old and in a wheelchair. He is genuinely unable to walk. He has cerebral palsy. It's hard for us with him. When we ran away from home, when we were bombed, I don't even know how we escaped with him.
We tell people when we already have reliable information that we will really go and do it. To instill hope in people once again and then come short of it would hurt someone that he might refuse to leave. Something can happen to him, to his relatives.
For over a month, our people fought for our people.
Comrades, evacuation tomorrow. All arrive checkpoint 6 a.m. Inform all you're in contact with. Urgent!
Of course, we went prepared because you go through the desert, you go into the desert. People need water, they need some energy-intensive products, which at the same time should not be perishable.
We were fed already at the border. They gave us food and water because we had a water problem. Today, for example, when we were fed in the hotel, there was food left. I said to the council, we have food left. And he answers, well, that's okay. What is to be do with it? You can take it on the plane with you, throw it away. And I say, no. After everything we've been through, that we didn't eat at all, we were starving, am I going to throw food away? Never in my life, because people even fainted there.
People were fighting for water there. There's a hospital next to Rafah. There's a column of people getting water. Someone comes up, wants to take out of turn, and a fight breaks out. Those who stand behind intervene. Well, in the end, that's it. The water supply stopped for the whole day. We worked directly at the checkpoint itself. We met people who entered the checkpoint. What kind of footage can be highlighted? People come in exhausted. They don't have a smile on their faces. Neither their facial expressions nor their gestures indicate that they have any joy. Later, having passed part of the filtration procedures, when they were sitting in the waiting room, they understood that they would not go back and slowly began to return to the life they had before.
In the Rafah checkpoint, which was running from the gas, it didn't matter what to eat and drink, where and on what to lie. You look at these touching frames. Diplomatic issues are being resolved while a little girl, our girl, is sleeping. Who knows, for the first time in how many days? They were saved. They pray and cry, seemingly in the aftermath of what appeared to be a remarkably uncomplicated question.
How do you feel after you escaped from the Gaza Strip?
How do I feel? Joy, of course. Thank you so much for taking me away. Wait, don't shoot it, please.
People cannot move around Gaza. They say, go to the south, there is a humanitarian corridor there. People go south, they are shot at, they are killed, they are stripped completely naked down to their underwear. Men are forced to shoulder, it's terrible. Someone is lucky and he will pass. Someone's going to be killed.
Talin Mahdi evacuated with her husband and 2 more children. Their eldest son works in Novopolotsk. All medics. Once the spouses graduated from Vitebsk State University, Friendship of People's Medical University. Far from the laryngologist Talina OBGYN, I lived in the Gaz sector for 20 years.
I see how difficult it was to agree on the evacuation of Belarusians and Russians. I'm very grateful to everyone, our Belarusian diplomats, the Ministry of Emergency Situation, and of course the head of state, our president, Alexander Lukashenko.
When you passed the checkpoint and saw the Belarusian flag, what happened?
I cried because I didn't believe it, because it was very hard.
We had 3 Belarusian flags with us. For you to understand, about 9,000 to 10,000 people are at the Rafah checkpoint for evacuation. They're trying to get out. On average, about 500 to 700 people pass through the checkpoint per day, and from these 500, you can single out your own. We warned right away that there would be our flags. One flag was placed on the street. We bought a fishing rod, hung our Belarusian flag on it, unfurled it. The second flag was placed on the wall of the checkpoint. The people who came out saw them.
Generally, their stories are alike, all with Belarusian medical education, when medicine became a family matter. However, every narrative has its own tragic element.
My house was destroyed, my summer house was destroyed, my medical center was destroyed. I worked from morning till night to earn money, to secure prestige for myself and my family. We believed in the Belarusian state. We always said that it would save us. That's my son. When people ask me what is his nationality, I always say that he is Belarusian. We are really grateful to the president. After a day spent at the checkpoint, when we had already picked up our people, we decided to move to the hotel, and on behalf of the president a special plane flew here.
Внимание, уважаемые пассажиры, начинается посадка на рейс 8797, следующий в Каир. Просим вас подготовить ваши посадочные талоны, паспорта и прийти на посадку к выходу номер 6.
The date was November 16th and the time was 9:50. This is a special aircraft called Belarusian. We are embarking on a journey to Cairo, accompanied by doctors, psychologists, and rescuers who are part of our team. Boeing 737-800 with 189 seats, we fly without luggage in the baggage compartment. Blankets, warm clothes, items for kids. When fleeing from hell, they only took the most important thing, the children. Belarusians and their families had 72 hours from crossing the Rafah checkpoint until departure to their homeland. Such were the conditions of Cairo. They left Gaza on the 15th, and a humanitarian flight was already organized for them on November 16th.
In fact, this flight is regular for us. We operate it as a regular flight. We understand that there is responsibility. We understood that this special plane would arrive at 2 p.m., so it made no sense for people to check into a hotel. The conditions were created for them to be able to wash, eat, meet some of their minimum needs, and later we took them on board and delivered them to the territory of Belarus. This is the second special plane of Belarus from the conflict zones. On the 6th of November, 117 citizens were brought from Israel, 108 adults and 9 children. For the national air carrier, which is under the US sanctions, this was almost impossible, but we arranged it. The only condition was that the plane should fly to Israel Ben Gurion Airport empty and only back with Belarusian passengers.
22 being children who are 3 years old and above. Evacuating them was a delicate matter. We worked with Russian colleagues and were in constant contact with the Belarusian president. He was told all the details. Lukashenko controlled, gave additional commands. Authority, wisdom worked, will notice on board.
I can be proud that my children have a country and they are Belarusians. They should be proud that they have Belarusian nationality. I'm very happy with this attitude, and I also thank the President of the Republic of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko.
Thank you very much to him for having such guys, such a team, that they supported us so much and did everything possible and impossible to get us out of there. We didn't pay for anything at all. We were fed and fully provided with everything. We did not need anything at all.
All this time, their kin and close ones are surely in different corners of Belarus. They had a belief, but were unsure of the timing to be able to embrace all of them in a heartfelt hug.
Ilona Mikhailovna, hello.
Yes.
On behalf of the President, we are organizing the evacuation of your relatives from the Gaza Strip. They will arrive in Belarus today at 2300 hours. We invite you to take part in their meeting at Minsk National Airport.
How many people can attend?
As many as you want. You can do it with the whole family.
There are 5 of us. We have 3 children.
Some of them will have to learn the language better. Some will have to go to kindergarten or school in Belarus and decide on a job. All of them will have to settle things with the housing. During the 6-hour flight to Belarus, they were all thankful for the peace and opportunity to live in peace again. And many also asked for this.
In connection with the current situation, we do not know when Palestinian state will be created. I want to ask our president to give my husband Belarusian citizenship. He has had a residence permit for 20 years.
I'm a doctor. My wife is a doctor. Our family has been around for over 30 years. Our eldest son has received an education and has been working as a dentist in Novopolotsk for 2 years. We have 2 more sons. One is studying to be a programmer. The other is also studying computer science. Can such a family disgrace Belarus? We can't do any harm.
For us, this is a matter of principle.
What do I want? I have been married to a Belarusian woman for almost 23 years, since 1999. I hope that the president will give us Belarusian citizenship. We will be grateful to him.
Я женат с ней. Надеюсь, что он нам делает. Там сколько человек там мало здесь, что он нам дал белорусское гражданство. И будем ему благодарить.
Минск руление, доброй ночи, стоянка 22, рулите до машины сопровождения.
They're 40 days of hell behind when, every single day you hold the phone in your hands. Corridor, whether humanitarian or minefield. Do you know if you will reach the checkpoint? Meeting with fellow countrymen in Cairo, flight and hugs with loved ones. They did everything for them so that they, no doubt for a minute, they were waiting at this spot. The authorities aided the relatives in reaching the airport and returning home. Each of the gases was determined by regions, by the desire of the people themselves. Someone traveled from the airport to their new home for 40 minutes, while someone else traveled for 4 hours at night, realizing that tomorrow will come for them.
And tomorrow, the largest family of Belarusian Yevgeny Yerkiek, 14 people, 8 of whom are children, evacuated from the Middle East conflict zone, received total support from the district authorities of Volozhin. Elnadi's family, 7 people, 5 of whom are children, went to Inna's small homeland in the village of Novopolitsy in Stolpce district, where their mother Maria was waiting for them. Mahdi's family, 4 people, 2 of whom are children, was reunited with their eldest son in Novopolotsk, where he works as a dentist. The Shard family, 6 people, 5 of whom are children, returned to Elena's small homeland in Skidel. They were met by their mother. The Panasuk al-Handavi family, 5 people, 3 of whom are children, and the Sheikh Ali family, 5 people, 3 children, are now neighbors. A cottage was prepared for them in Volkovysk, located in the health resort Energetic. Absolutely all families were provided with shelter. Adults will be helped with employment according to their professions. Children will be sent to Belarusian schools and kindergartens. Psychologists continue working with everyone.
Without being there, without losing, it is difficult to imagine what these people have experienced, not leaving their homes and not abandoning their loved ones, but they, knowing what it's like when there's war, now truly appreciate the Belarusian peace and tranquility.